that was, thanks for doing this again.
I'm happy to.
Just horrendous what we saw yesterday.
Unbelievable.
Let me make sure I can still, okay, I'm recording, so I think we're all set. Here with Senator Joe Donnelly, former Senator Joe Donnelly, your reaction to what we saw Wednesday at the U.S. Capitol with the situation involving violent protesters. What were your thoughts as we witnessed that all unfold?
Number one, it was heartbreaking and crushing for everybody from Indiana and from our country. But to be honest with you, the attack was not unexpected to me. I thought that something like that might happen. I was surprised that the Capitol Police were not able to stop them. But President Trump a few weeks ago tweeted, "Come January 6th, it's going to be wild that day." Yesterday morning, he spoke to the entire group at the White House and told them that they needed to be strong. Rudy Giuliani came out and said it's trial by combat. And then the president told them all to head down to the Capitol. And inside the Capitol, we had people like Senator Braun, who were trying to overturn the election. And so it was not a surprise that they were there or that they attacked the Capitol. The surprise was that they were able to get in.
You mentioned Senator Braun. You've been critical of him. He ultimately decided not to vote against the certification. What were your thoughts on his move to essentially walk that back after what happened?
I'm glad it finally happened, but he was part of the team that helped create this entire event. He put his loyalty to Donald Trump ahead of his obligation to the people of Indiana and the Constitution of the United States. This was all caused by Donald Trump, his incitement of the crowd, and the action of the legislators who were trying to negate the certified election results of the United States of America for president.
What needs to happen next?
What we have to do, we took the absolute next step, which was to go right back into the chambers to certify Joe Biden as the president-elect. What we now need to do is we need to find out the people who are in the building. We need to identify them. We need to arrest them, and we need to show that justice will be done here in the United States. And we also need legislators, members of the House and the Senate, who are serious about this job, who understand that it isn't for personal aggrandizement, who won't sell their soul to a President Trump or anyone else for personal benefit or gain. We need people who will do what's right for this Constitution and for this democratic republic we live in.
There are less than 2 weeks left in the president's term, not much time. Do you favor any particular mode of holding the president accountable for this in any way?
I do. I thought that one of the things that came out of yesterday was Vice President Pence, in effect, carried out a lot of the duties that the president should have been carrying out. Vice President Pence helped bring the DC Guard into the Capitol for further protection. Vice President Pence was working with a lot of the White House staff. And so I think there's a real question as to whether the president should continue at this point. He is responsible for an insurrection against the Capitol of the United States. Those are words I never dreamed I or anybody else would ever speak. And so I'm really, really concerned about his behavior and his mental state, to be honest with you. And we need to protect this nation.
Do you think the 25th Amendment is in play, or is that unrealistic?
I actually think it's being talked about.
There are some reports of that. Do you favor such a move?
At this point, I do. I have not the entire time of President Trump's presidency. I don't take things like that lightly, but we've never had a president who incited an attack against our Capitol, where all of our legislators were inside doing their work, who encouraged these people to come and to attack their own nation. That is behavior that you look at from a president and you say, this is the kind of thing the 25th Amendment was designed for. And I don't say that lightly.
How do we come together as a country after this?
Well, I think you saw that start to happen last night. You saw Mitch McConnell, Senator McConnell, talking about standing up for what is right, saying that it was time for the Senate, for the House, and for everybody to recognize the election of Joe Biden. I think you'll see on the inauguration that Joe Biden, President-elect Biden, on that day, President Biden's speech will be about healing, will be about bringing our nation together. And I think that the constant attack and the constant battle caused by President Trump will start to fade away. That the better angels of our nature, of our country's nature, will come to the forefront again. And I don't say that as a Democrat going after a Republican. I say that as an American who's really worried about the behavior we've seen this past year, and especially in the past few months.
Senator Donnelly, thank you so much.
Thank
Before you go,
Yeah.
I'm concerned that